All right, engineers, to make your bowl with text, you're going to come over here to create a new design to open up a brand new page. You're going to click on the title to change the title to text project so that it's easy to find. All right, so then the next thing is that the instructions tell you to drag over a cylinder onto your work plane and to size your cylinder to be 140 by 140 by 50. So your first measurement is 140 this way, and then 140 this way, and then 50 in height. Okay? Then it says to click on your shape and do Control C, Control V to paste the shape, or not to paste the shape, but to copy the shape exactly the same size next to it. But you want to make this your hole in the middle of your bowl. So we're going to click on hole to change this over. But before we can align this and group it together, we need to change the size so it's slightly smaller than our original cylinder shape. So we're going to change this one based on our directions. It says to be 130 millimeters by 130 millimeters on the bottom here. And then the height is 45. That way, we actually have a base to our bowl. But you'll see that if I just rotate this a little bit right now, this top part is still going to be solid. So when I go to align this and group it together, I need to make sure that I raise up this hole to the top so that when I group it, the solid part is on the bottom, which can contain the water or food or whatever else I'm making. So now the next step is to highlight both shapes and to click on the Align tool. And I'm going to zoom out just a little so I can see all my dots. And I want to center it and then center it. But you can see that now it looks like it disappeared. That's because it's hiding underneath because it's aligned to the bottom. But I want it aligned to the top. So I'm going to click on the top Align button. And now I can see that that shape is up on the top edge here. And now I'm going to group them together. Okay? So now that I have my bowl shape, the next step is to create the text. So to create the text, if you come over to the basic shapes on the side here, you see that there's actually a text option that you can just drag over. And to change what the text says, you click over here in the box where it says text, and you change the word in this box. So I'm going to make it for my dog Belle, so I'm going to type in Belle. Okay? Now, once I have the text written, the instructions say to make your text 100 millimeters long, 20 millimeters wide, and 2.5 millimeters tall. So I'm going to click on the corner and resize my text to be 100 by 20, and the height 2.5. Oops, try that again. There we go. Okay, so now I want to put the text right here on the top part of this inside section of my bowl. So to do that, what I'm going to do is actually drag my work plane. So you notice right now, this says work plane on the bottom, and that's the surface on which you are working. But I want to work on the surface that's in here, which is slightly above my work plane. So I'm going to change my work plane and bring it and drop it right on top of the inside of the bowl here. And now if I click on my shape to select it and press the letter D, it layers or changes where the word is layered on top. So you can see now it's actually sitting on top of my work plane, which is just aligned with the inside of my bowl. So what I can do once I have that done is highlight both shapes, select my Align tool, and again, I don't want my bowl to move, I want my words to move into my bowl. So I'm going to actually click my bowl to make all my dots come around the bowl so that I know that it's going to move just the word, not my shape over here. So I'm going to center it and then center it one more time. And now because it's on my work plane, it's sitting directly on top of my bowl here. So I don't need to change any of the height on my Align tool here. Okay, so then the last thing I want to do is to group these two shapes together. I'm going to drop my work plane back down to the ground by clicking on it, dragging, and putting it down onto this surface. And you can see that because the two colors are the same, they're no longer red and orange anymore, that it is grouped together as one piece. And this is your embossed. So now you're going to take your screenshot and then come over to your, sorry about that, come over to your project over here, and you're going to do Control V, and you're going to paste it in your slideshow. Let's try that. Didn't seem to work. We'll try it one more time. So print screen, Control V. Oh, I guess it won't let me do that while I'm videoing for you. So just know that you need to take your screenshot and paste it on your text project. Okay, then to do the second one where you're doing engraved, if you click on your bowl again, ungroup it, click on the word bell, or whatever word you chose to type. It could be your pet's name, it could be your name, it could be your sister or brother or your parents, something that you wanted to make for them. It could be any name you want. Click on the name, and now this time we want to take that space out of the inside of the bowl because we're engraving it. So we wanted to actually turn the word into a hole, and then we want to drop it down into our shape. So this is 2.5 millimeters tall. So to drop this down 2.5, so it's exactly aligned with the top, what we do is we click on this little arrow that kind of looks like a, well, it looked better when I had it zoomed out. It's kind of like a little cone upside down, like an ice cream cone. If you click on the little upside down ice cream cone and lower your word down to be lowered 2.5. So you can see as I'm lowering it, it's going -1, -2, -3. It doesn't go -2.5. So if I let go at -2 and click on this box and type in, if it will let me, it doesn't seem to want to let me, -2.5, enter. Now you can see it's aligned with the top surface of our bowl. So if we click on our two shapes here and group, now we have that internal section is cut out. So that is our engraved bowl. So you would take a screenshot of this and go over to your slideshow and put this in for engraved. Okay, so those were the two easy ones. Now the next step is a little bit more tricky. So in this step for inlay, where you have two different colors, you actually have to have two different parts that are separate but go together. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to take this bowl here and you're going to do Control C, Control V to create a copy of that bowl with the letters already out. Okay, then to create the letters that are going to go inside so that they would actually fit and match, you're going to click on the original bowl and you're going to ungroup it. And then you're going to click off of the whole thing, click just on the bowl and hit delete so that all you're left with is the word still in the exact place it was originally. And then you're going to change the word back into a solid shape again. Okay, now it looks about right, except the only thing is that we need this word to fit into the space where our gap is for our word over here. Even though we're going to print it, or we're going to separate them into two separate files, they have to be in the exact same spot, so that way when we go to print it, they print in the right places. So to do that, what we're going to do is, again, we're going to highlight those shapes, and we're going to click Align. And this time we do actually want the bowl and the word to be aligned, so we're going to move the bowl back over to where our word is here. So I'm going to click on the word, so you see it moves my align tool around that. And it's already aligned in the middle on this side, but we need to align it in the middle on this side. So you can see that my word is fitting exactly into that shape that I already created. I do not want to group it because then when I go to send it to my teacher to have it 3D printed, the way that that works is I have to actually send both files. So I would click on the bowl to click export, STL file, the selected shape, and then I would send this as one file to my teacher. And then the second file I would send would be, I would click on the word, export, selected shape, STL, and then I would send this to my teacher as well. So then when I go to print, when the teacher goes to print these two parts together to make it two colors, they actually have to download both files and use those together to create the two different colors to be able to print it all together. So now that you have this, you want to take your screenshot of the whole thing together. You want to take your screenshot of just the bowl. So again, then what I'm going to do to get just my bowl picture is I can actually click the undo button and I can click on my image here, and I can actually just screenshot it like this. So I have the image of my word separate, the image of my bowl separate with it engraved, and then my last picture is of them together like this. So on your final picture, you're going to have 3 different images to show how you put it together. Okay, good luck.